has sold for $92 million at auction. Yesterday, it was a record sale for the work by the Renaissance painter. There's the painting right now. We were showing you the bidding. It was streamed live on Facebook. It's a young man holding a roundel. That's the name of the Botticelli painting. It's from the 15th century. It was supposed to fetch more than $80 million, but it was purchased for $92.184 million by an anonymous bidder. It's an auction record for the artist, and it was sold out of Sotheby's there in London. I know my favorite Botticelli painting is The Birth of Venus. A lot of you must know that painting. It's very, very famous there, hanging in the Uffizi Gallery in Florence. We do want to go out to some animal news as well. We're getting a look here at a snowy owl, which was spotted in Central Park for the first time in 130 years. Doesn't seem to be bothered much by the crows there that's gathered around it. People are staying behind distant fences and being quiet and respectful, according to the Manhattan Bird Alert. That's a Twitter account. Footage of the owl was captured by that Twitter account, Manhattan Bird Alert. So we are going to go out now to our sister station in Fox 11 in Los Angeles, where they did an interview with Tommy Chong on his rules for happiness. Let's listen into that right now.
Elders, octogenarians, including the brilliant comedian Tommy Chong, about their secrets to happiness in 2021.
All you have to do to be happy is change your mind. That's what I'm learning in my 80s.
Expand your mind, man. Tommy Chong joins me now, and what a delight. Happy New Year, Tommy. How are you? Checking in on you pandemic-wise.
I'm very good. I'm very happy, because I'm at that age where I shouldn't be doing anything anyway.
What have you been doing to pass the time during the pandemic?
Enjoying my wife's cooking.
Ooh.
She years ago, before the pandemic, she would cook maybe twice a year, maybe. Christmas and maybe another time. But now it's every night, and she's beautiful, and she's very health conscious, and so we have healthy meals every night. And with me, I smoke so much weed, I'm always hungry.
You're always hungry. Always hungry,
Yeah.
but you've got those good genes where you just burn it all off. Married 45 years to your more than 45 years to your beautiful bride. What's the secret, do you think? The good cooking?
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
That's my secret. No, what it is that she's right even when she's wrong.
Smart man.
Yeah, no.
Smart man.
You just gotta go with some of what works. But I'll tell you what you can't be happy if you're in bad health.
Yeah, it's true.
So you have to be healthy. And the thing is, with old guys, a lot of us, when you say retire, they stop doing everything, and like I cut everything back. Like when I take the dog for a walk, I took the dog for a walk this morning, and Shelby goes, "What? Well, that was quick. What do you do? Just go outside, come back in?"
Hey, maybe the walks are a little shorter, but at least you're getting outside and getting some fresh air, right?
No, there's a reason you walk the dog. It's his toilet. You got to take him out.
They got to do their business.
And he does his business. Well, after he does his business, what's the sense?
Yeah.
Now you bring
head back in.
You get warm. See, I grew up in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
I know exactly where that is. I'm from Saskatoon.
Yeah. Well, so you know what I'm saying. The idea when you grow up in a cold country is to stay out of the cold.
Yes. Absolutely.
As much as you can. Stay in. This business about I'm going crazy, I'm locked in. If you grow up, you grow up where I am, because, when you're a kid, parents, the schools are closed, the airports are closed, everything's closed. but the parents will send their kids out to play.
I know, isn't that something? Hey, Tommy, you know,
Get out of the house.
I love this thing that PBS has done with their digital studios, this 12-minute online episode, and it features all sorts of folks in their 80s, just like you, and talking about the keys to happiness. You spoke about one of the things. You talked about the importance of being happy. Is the key to being happy is being healthy. What other things have you discovered in this decade for yourself, about yourself?
Oh, that it's great. It's great being a grandpa, you know, because a lot of people complain that we get ignored. You know, well, I like that. I you know, because what happens, you don't. I play the feeble card all the time. You know, like and people talk about you in front of you. You know, they say, oh, you know, he can't lift that. No, you know.
And you're like, I'm right here. You know. I can hear you.
Yeah. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Play that card. That's what I do. You know, like, oh, is he sleeping? You know, and
what would you tell your younger self if you could? If you could go back in time, what would you tell a younger Tommy Chong?
There's no rush.
Oh, that's beautiful.
There's no rush. You know, take your time. Take your time.
Yeah.
Because that's what getting old really does for you. It gives you a lot of time.
Sure does.
You know, like being locked in, you know, a lot of people, you know, they get all antsy. Why? Because they're programmed to do certain things, you know. It's just like the old days, you know, when they would close the coal mine. And, well, you know, digging for coal is probably the worst job ever in the world. You go miles into the ground in total darkness, and you're breathing coal dust, and the average age expectancy is like 25 years old.
Yeah.
And then you read the paper. Then you read the paper. Oh, they're closing the mine. Now what are we going to do? It just boggles the mind. Just like when I went to jail, you know, everybody's, oh, you know, he's going to go to jail. It was one of the best experiences of my life.
Really?
Yes.
How so?
It was a camp.
Oh.
I'm in there with very, very intelligent people that have
good company,
great conversations.
Sure.
There was 8 doctors that in there with me. I got gout one time, and I was walking across the field, and before I got to my bunk, I had 4 doctors tell me, "Oh, you got gout."
So, hey, speaking of doctors, you've had your vaccine. How'd it go?
Oh, it went great.
Yeah.
Great. The arm hurts, but yeah. Yeah, we had to pay for it. It cracks me up.
There's another thing you had to pay for it.
That made me laugh too. Yeah, well, rich people should pay for it. Why not? That's why you have money, so you don't have to stand in line. You know, it's not about fairness. You know, life is not about fairness. You know, I like people, you know, and they say, well, you know, they got everything and we got nothing. You know, well, that's the way it works. That's what, you know, the physical plane is. You know, when people say, oh, you know, I never want my kid to go through that, or, you know, all that stuff. It's experience. We're here to experience life.
Amen,
the
brother.
Good, the bad. Everything.
Look, I want to tell people, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm so sorry.
Sure.
I could sit here and listen to Tommy Chong for hours on end. It would be my perfect end of my Friday. Let me just tell you. I want to tell people you can follow him on Instagram at Chong's Choice. You can check out his website for Tommy Chong's Cannabis, if that's your bag. And know that PBS Digital Studios, 80-Year-Olds on the Keys to Happiness in 2021 is available online under the series Self-Evident at pbs.org. Tommy, bless you. We love you. You take care of yourself. Keep being happy and keep doing you. We're so grateful for your time today.
All right, really interesting interview there with Fox 11 Los Angeles with Tommy Chong. He's in his 80s now, and he's giving us lessons on how to be happy, especially in this time. Speaking of, you know, watching sports, being happy watching sports as well, a lot of the companies and businesses that produce these funny commercials during the Super Bowl, a lot of that will be geared now towards public service announcements and making sure people go get the vaccine. That's what a lot of these companies are kind of, instead of, you know, their brands, they're going to be promoting this public service announcement. So Budweiser is one of them. It's known for its obviously iconic Super Bowl ads, from the croaking frogs to the friends who created a pop culture catchphrase. But this year, the popular beer will sit on the sidelines during the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl 55. And Fox 5 Atlanta has a little more on what the commercials will look like during the Super Bowl this year. Let's listen in.
Well, Budweiser is known for its iconic Super Bowl ads, from adorable puppies to the Clydesdale horses. But this year, the popular beer will along with several other companies. Advertising executive Mitch Bennett from Lucky joins us live with why they are deciding to do this. And Mitch, it's so good to have you with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's start by talking about industry adjustments, I guess we'll call them, due to COVID. I know that there's probably been a lot of changes.
Yeah, when you think about how to produce a commercial at all, that's completely changed. It's all done over Zoom and trying to keep people separated. And when you think about the Super Bowl and creating a Super Bowl ad, usually those decisions are made, the process begins in the summertime. This year, during the summer, we didn't know if there was going to be a Super Bowl. So that's been interesting for these brands.
No doubt. Okay, so Budweiser, we mentioned among the brands not returning this year. Give us some insight on why they're deciding not to do that, and then other brands that are following suit.
Yeah, so it's amazing for Budweiser. 37 years they've been doing Super Bowl ads, done some classic ones. They actually have a genius move that they're making. Usually I love to watch in the Super Bowl for who's going to be the brand that kind of steals the Super Bowl without paying the $5.5 million for the 30-second spot. And Budweiser is going to be the one to do that. Usually it's a challenger brand that can't afford it. Budweiser has made a spot with Rashida Jones as the voiceover talking about vaccinations. It's already had 3 million views. They're going to skip paying to be an actual sponsor of the Super Bowl, which is kind of smart. We're also going to see Coke is out. Pepsi's going to just lean into their halftime show. Hyundai, who you can usually count on for a funny spot, is gone, and avocados from Mexico as well.
Interesting. Okay, so more along the lines of, the free, I guess, quote unquote. I know they're paying a lot to still produce those spots, but, not having to pay for it to be on the Super Bowl. Do you think we'll see these companies decide that, maybe this is the best route to go and we don't have to continue to, be a part of the Super Bowl ads in that way?
That'll be fascinating to see. I think a lot of them are going to kind of just sit this one out, use that money, reorganize, regroup. I think we'll see them next year.
Okay.
In the meantime, it's going to be fascinating to see the brands that we do see Super Bowl ads for. There are a bunch of brands that we've probably never seen an ad for before, but these are the ones that have done great in the pandemic, like your DoorDash, Vroom, Fiverr, the freelance marketplace, Indeed, the place to find a job, like everything that kind of makes sense with the year we've had.
Yeah.
They're going to do their first Super Bowl ad.
They are. I think we've got some video maybe of Tide and Hellmann's, and they're repeating or returning top brands. I don't know if I remember seeing a Tide commercial typically in the Super Bowl. Do they usually have one?
They do. They usually have something pretty interesting. I think this year, this ad is going to be talked about a lot. Jason Alexander on a piece of clothing, his face on there instead of clothing on our faces. So it should be, I think this one's going to be kind of a hit. I'm also excited to see, Hellmann's just released a teaser yesterday where we see Amy Schumer going into a fridge full of Hellmann's mayonnaise and then somehow becomes a mayonnaise angel. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that actually is on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, so we're still going to have plenty to see, it sounds like, if we're watching the Super Bowl and want to catch those good ads. I want to talk about this too, Mitch, the shift from election ads that we were all ready to see go, now it's messages of national unity. Do you think that that'll be reflected in the ads that we see during the Super Bowl?
I do. I think that's going to be something to watch for, is how do these ads land? Trying to nail the tone of how to be with the way everybody feels right now is going to be interesting to see. DoorDash, for instance, is doing a Sesame Street tie-in with these are the people in your neighborhood, and they're going to donate to Sesame Street. That'll be interesting to see. How do people feel about that? Just overall, not having it be political. This will be kind of a nice kickoff to see, are we ready for fun again? Are we ready for humor? Here's hoping so.
Yeah, here's hoping so. You got that right. Advertising executive Mitch Bennett, thank you so much for being with us and providing your insight this morning. We sure do appreciate you.
Thanks so much. Have a good one.
You too.
Really great conversation there with Mitch Bennett and Fox 5 Atlanta, talking about what the commercials will look like there this year for the Super Bowl 55, happening February 7th. We've been covering a lot of stories surrounding it and what it will look like this year in the midst of the pandemic. I know for some of you, the commercials might be the best part, along with the halftime show. For others, you're more interested in the game. So for all of us here at NewsNOW from Fox, we are a little minutes away from the 4 p.m. hour here Mountain Time. We want to just take a quick commercial break and leave you with this beautiful shot of the U.S. Capitol Dome, the American flags flying high, flanking the side of it. We'll see you back here in 2 minutes, though. All right, this is Andrew Kraft. Once again, we did want to just explore right now. We're getting some new video just today here from Wuhan, China, and exploring the origins of the coronavirus. The World Health Organization team has begun its investigation into the origins of the virus in China. In their first site visit since leaving quarantine, the team inspected the Hubei Integrated Chinese and Western Medicine Hospital today. WHO officials say the fact-finding mission will also visit other hospitals, markets like the Huanan seafood market that was linked to many of those first cases, and the Wuhan Institute of Virology, one of China's top virus research labs. China has been critical of the team entering the country and released their own conclusions into how the pandemic started, with little evidence. Some would say this move right now is coming a year too late. Remember, the United States, in partnership with the WHO, wanted investigators to be let in at the very early months of the pandemic in early 2020, but a team is now being let in to investigate the origins, and there they are at the moment. And this is a really great segue as well. As you know, in Davos, Switzerland, usually at this time of year is the World Economic Forum. What that means is the most powerful people